So what should we do going forward? But go ahead, Monique. I'm sorry.
Well, and I think too, Dana, one of our biggest problems is it's not just white that will exploit you. It's not just white. It is really disheartening when you look at people that look like you and they're smiling and they're saying, we love you, we love your babies, we love your family, but they are setting you up to get taken advantage of.
Tyler Perry as an example.
Yes.
Tyler Perry is an example. When Monique shoots a movie called Almost Christmas, David Talbot, who I went to Morgan State University with, right across the hall from me, who was the director of that movie, he calls me up after he sees Tyler Perry and he says, I saw Tyler Perry, and he asked, how was it working with Monique on this film? And I had to tell him, man, it was incredible. And he said, well, that wasn't my experience when I worked with Monique. She was a little bit difficult to work with. So we went on our podcast and we discussed what it was that he said, because we didn't understand. And Lee had gone on prior to him coming back to apologize, had gone on and spoke about Monique was making difficult demands. Well, in our community, people thought because she won the Academy Award, now all of a sudden she was trying to be a grand diva. The difficult demand that was alleged was due to me personally getting a call, and they reached out to ask, because Monique had done such a wonderful job promoting the movie while it was owned by the Magnuses and LDE, which was Lee Daniels Entertainment. Since they acquired the movie, they wanted to know would Monique be willing to travel to Cannes to promote this film for them, under the guise of her having the ability to campaign for the Oscar award.
Lionsgate.
I'm sorry, Lionsgate. Mm-hmm. So when I spoke with Tyler Perry, he was like, listen, don't you understand this opportunity? If Monique campaigns for this award, if she gets nominated, she could get $3 to $5 million a picture. If she wins, $6 to $8 million. And we had to explain to him, brother, she's a Black woman. That's not what it is that she's going to do. In addition to the fact that her stance was, how do I lobby for an award when it should be based upon my performance? What I'm going to do instead is spend this time with my family. However, what I had posed to the lady and Tyler, who had come back 2 and 3 times asking, what can we do to get her to change her mind? I said, was there a dollar amount that you wanted me to go back to Monique in reference to propose so that she may consider this? It became a Smucker's jelly commercial where the guy said, would you please pass the jelly? And they about to black out. Like, so that's how she achieved the moniker of being difficult. There's an audio where we recorded Tyler Perry essentially saying, and we put it out there to the public, where he said, if it was him and somebody called him difficult for not essentially committing an act of slavery, because last time I checked, you're not any breach of contract for not doing something with someone who you don't have an agreement with. We got a judge here. So I think he confirmed that. So when you have that dynamic and he says, I'm going to make it right. When I go out to promote my next movie, Boo 2, I know people are going to ask me and I'm going to make it right. Because he offered Monique $500,000 because he said, I felt bad about that. What that was, we felt like, was if you take that money, you might as well stop talking about it. And the amount of money that we lost up in that was in the double digits of millions. We can't take that. What we would prefer you do is the right thing. Because I oftentimes hear him talking about God, religion. He gave T.D. Jakes $1 million check, got the pop locking after he did it, electric boogaloo. So I respect that. But the man, that was 2016, we're in 2023, and he's never come out. So the point is, when you have people that are gods in this entertainment business and people view them as that, I liken it to the Bible. And some people are going to get mad, but look at what I'm about to say objectively. Where do you know that an individual could send their children out into the wilderness, buck naked, without knowledge, and they're still deemed a hero, but the devil is the one that introduced them to the knowledge? When you have people in this world that are deemed gods, what happens is what took place with Whoopi Goldberg, where it wasn't about was Monique right or wrong in reference to not promoting something that she had no contractual obligation to promote. What was put forth was, I could have schooled you and told you what Lionsgate expected. See, when you're the God, it's not about whether it's right or wrong. It's about, you don't go against the gods. And we saying, listen, we were given what you call free will. And our free will is we love everybody. And we love everybody so much that we feel compelled to say the truth, regardless, because guess what? Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, she sat back in silence and never said that this Black woman was right for taking the position she took. But you can hear her story of her introduction into being a talk show host. It was because she was treated unfairly when she was in Baltimore, Maryland on People Are Talking, when she was co-host with Richard Sher, and she was paid less than half of what he was paid. But you're going to sit back silently while Monique is being demonized, but you go to bat for a gentleman named Harvey Weinstein on a CBS morning show with your good girlfriend, Gayle King.
Oh, by the way, let's talk about her. I was in the same special CBS syndicated unit with Judge Judy, Oprah Winfrey, Dr. Phil, and Judge Joe Brown. The person who was assigned the executive authority over that unit was a guy named Roger King. His father invented television syndication. Our Gang, the Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, the old black and white cartoons and movies and such like way back in the late 40s and early 50s. He discovered Oprah. He discovered Phil. He managed Oprah's money, set up OWN for her, and then he died suddenly. He came to me and he said, you know what, Judge, I like you. He said, I just discovered that they've been trying to down you because you are an intelligent Black man who will not put up with their shit.
Come on.
He said, I'm going to help you out. And you see, what happened is when they started the unit off, I was doing pretty well in the ratings. It was out of that unit, I was beating Phil, but it was Judy, Oprah, and me, then Phil. So he said, I'm going to fix this. And when we got through, before he died, it was Judy and Joe. Oprah was behind us, and I was beating her every week in the ratings. But you see, Oprah was the poster child for something that Roger King was supposed to be doing. Now, you've got a whole, I won't even get into some of the other stuff that he told me that he was doing with that. But a lot of it was an illusion that the public still buys. And there is a truth about that. You tell a lie long enough and loud enough, you get anybody to believe it.
One example, can you do one example that Oprah never read all those damn books that she was promoting?
No, Roger King was picking her books for her. He
giving her
dictated
notes.
what was going on. So he stopped because he died some years ago. So a lot of stuff she was picking was no longer Roger King picking it. It was Oprah picking it, and that's why you got some of that mess. Don't judge him, Joe Brown.